Good afternoon, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Public Health and Safety Committee for May 17th, 2023. I am Latricia Vital, and I'm the chair of this committee. At this time, I will ask the clerk to call the roll so we can verify a quorum for this meeting.
Councilmember Wansley,
Present.
Rainville,
Present.
Ellison.
Here.
Palmisano is absent. Vice Chair Payne,
Present.
Chair Vita.
Present.
There are 5 members present.
Let the record reflect that we do have a quorum. We have the consent agenda before us. There are 4 items on today's consent agenda. Item 1 is authorizing the submittal of a grant application to FEMA to implement prevention strategies for countering violent extremism using public health methods. Item 2 is appointing Health Commissioner Damone Chaplin to serve as Community Health Services Administrator on behalf of the city's Community Health Board. Welcome. Item 3 is accepting a grant from the West Michigan Sustainable Business Forum for the 2023 Food Policy and Climate Action Cohort. Item 4 is accepting a Project Safe Neighborhood grant from the Bureau of Justice Assistance to assist sworn investigators. Is there any discussion on these items? Seeing none, I will move approval of the consent agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. That carries, and the consent agenda is approved. The next item is receiving an update from Stephen Gallagher in the Neighborhood and Community Relations on contracts with organizations for the Partnership Engagement Fund. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Chair, Council members. My name is Stephen Gallagher. Thank you for the introduction. I am the Neighborhoods Program Manager for the NCR Department, and today we are excited and honored to present and bring forward the approval of contracts related to the Partnership Engagement Fund. As you recall, this program was intended to support collaboration and partnerships between community-based organizations and neighborhood organizations to increase diverse public participation through project development, implementation, and engaging historically underrepresented residents meaningfully and effectively on policies and programs that impact them in decision-making with a focus on furthering equity. It should be noted that the program utilizes goals from the Neighborhoods 2020 program, the Minneapolis 2040 Comprehensive Plan, and the Strategic Equity Action Plan. Today I'm joined by the Partnership Engagement Program Lead, Araya Fine, along with Tate Wynn, who will further present on program details and recommended projects, and then we'll answer any other questions that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair and council members, my name is Araya. Today we're asking you to authorize 19 contracts for the Partnership Engagement Fund. This represents about 1/3 of the total number of projects that we'll be funding or bringing forward for funding in 2023. Our presentation today is about the overall program and this first full year of funding. I wanted to mention the photos you'll see throughout the presentation are from some of the 2021 and 2022 funded projects, and we'll finish with a brief video from past participants. The Partnership Engagement Fund is focused on funding community-based initiatives that engage residents in Minneapolis. This dedicated funding is ongoing, focusing on increasing diverse public participation, engaging historically underrepresented residents meaningfully and effectively with a focus on furthering equity. As was mentioned, the Partnership Engagement Fund aligns with the city's goals, focusing on the broad outcome that the people of Minneapolis will be socially connected, healthy, and safe. You'll see in your agenda packet, each project also has identified additional city goals that align with that project specifically. So as was mentioned, this program has helped to solidify cross-partnerships, that's the part of the name, between neighborhood organizations and community-based organizations and initiatives. The map on the left of your screen shows the neighborhood organizations who have partnered on projects in these first 3 years, with the darker shades showing more project partnerships and lighter shades showing fewer. So far, we've had 27 neighborhood organizations partnering with community-based organizations. The map on the right simply shows that projects have been funded in all 11 communities in Minneapolis, with more projects in the darker shaded areas. You'll notice that these maps and projects align with the other city equity efforts, such as the Green Zones and Promise Zone. Today, we are looking to approve 19 projects, about 1/3 of the total hoping to be funded in 2023. We are in the 3rd year of funding, the first full year of funding of the Partnership Engagement Fund, and the recommended projects were selected from 120 completed applications, which is well over double what we had in previous years. We had over 200 interested applicants begin the application process, and you'll see that was 7 times the amount of interest as there was funding available. The program has significant interest from the community and is identifying a huge need in our city to fund small, community-based projects engaging historically underrepresented residents. I'll now hand it over to my colleague Tate to share our application and review process.
Chair Vita and council members, thank you for your time. We will be talking about the application process, which was focused on accessibility for communities within Minneapolis, including oral, immigrant, and non-English speaking communities. When we focus on equity, we make it more accessible for communities to be able to voice what they need in their communities and give them the ownership in being able to further what the community needs. We made this process as accessible as possible with more than 10 information sessions in different languages other than English, such as in Spanish and in Somali, along with the help that we provided to applicants with information sessions. We held open office hours and had one-on-one phone calls with all of the applicants that applied for our grant this year. As you can see, we put a ranking of 4.6 stars that were ranked by our applicants as we surveyed all of our applicants to see how accessible it was for them. The scale was out of 5 stars, and we had all of our applicants rank us based on the system. And as you can see with the quote blurbs, these are all direct comments that the applicants have said specifically about our application. Next, we will talk about the review process. So with the review process, we had 25 reviewers. We had 5 city employees represented in our review process, along with 20 community members that consisted of various ethnic communities, ages, and expertise, as we really wanted to ensure that we had as many community members represented on our panel to make the recommendations, as we believe that people with the lived experiences in community know what the community might need. After having the community review panel make their recommendations and rank the applications, we had a robust review from our department, Neighborhood and Community Relations, with the City Attorney's Office to make sure that the programs that were recommended by the review panel were in compliance with the program eligibility, as well as legal pieces for just ensuring that all of our boxes are checked in terms of getting it through the legal process. So all of the recommendations that you will be seeing before you today were forwarded by community members and 5 city staff members. I will now pass it back to my colleague Araya to wrap us up.
So about the 2023 applicants. As was mentioned, we have 19 projects today. In addition to the ones that are still under review, this process touches every community in Minneapolis. We've identified from their applications language abilities in 10 different languages. These are projects throughout the community and focus on kind of broad areas of youth empowerment, healing and addressing trauma, civic engagement, community building, and creative community-led spaces. We're really proud that these projects were developed by community. The entire process itself, actually, from the Neighborhoods 2020 input from residents, developed the Partnership Engagement Fund, led by community. So these projects are led by community members directly impacted by the issues that they're hoping to address, and it's centering community. In our review process, we led with community review panel, and then the projects themselves will have that impact. We're really excited about these projects and organizations and the opportunity to support meaningful partnerships and engagement in Minneapolis neighborhoods in 2023. This is the list of the projects that are happening. It's a lot to see on your screen, but you each have more detailed listings of the funding requests and project descriptions in the packet before you in the agenda. And finally, rather than us having the last word, we wanted to take just 2 minutes to share the voices of some of the 2021 Partnership Engagement Fund recipients as they share about the impact of funding.
The Partnership Engagement Fund helped fund our National Day of Empowerment event at the Capri Theater. It helped fund the Light Up the Night event, as well as it helped us do outreach for our virtual workshops around workforce and home ownership and financial literacy.
Thanks to the Partnership Engagement Fund provided by the City of Minneapolis, the Black Community Board was able to develop a critical immersive violence prevention training program that was engaging over 100 young people.
Through the City Partner Engagement Fund, we were able to really enrich our community engagement through increasing our infrastructure and including our countertop over there, as well as our talking circle behind us where community members can come and gather, and it really has a great impact.
Thanks to the Partnership Engagement Fund, we did the presentations in Somali with Somali speakers, and we had interpreters there for the English speakers. And it really was an amazing way to center the community that we were focused on.
One of the things that I appreciated was the check-ins that, we were checked in, we were asked what we were doing, how it was going. That was important for us because that was what we wanted.
Our project has served more than 120 youth in learning the conflict resolution skills, leadership skills, and also they get the emotional support they needed.
Thanks to this grant, we was able to put lamps, like 10 solar lamps, illuminate on the night, and now this place is becoming familiar again and popular. And you can see hundreds of people are coming to the event Day of the Dead, and we are thankful because thanks to this grant, the plaza is alive again. Thank you, City of Minneapolis.
That has to be a first, that we received this innovation. And I really enjoyed looking at all of your faces and seeing you all's faces light up with these projects, and that video is amazing. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. Leslie, we are asking for the authorization to enter into 19 contracts for the next step of the Partnership Engagement Fund, and we will probably be standing by for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. Thank you, Araya, and also Tate. Tate, I was told you were a little nervous. You did great. Fantastic. If I had known you were nervous, I probably would have given you tips in the elevator. We came up together. But thank you so much. And that video was wonderful. And why it was wonderful was because I saw so many people I knew, and I'm familiar with so many of those projects. They happen on the north side. I know the people on those videos are so passionate about what we've allowed them to do at the City of Minneapolis. And so thank you for the presentation. Councilmember Rainville.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you so much. These all look great. I'll be voting yes. I'm curious, so you said there are other projects under review. Is there still time for applicants, or has that closed?
Chair, council member, thank you for the question. The application process has closed right now, and what's happening is it's going through a legal review by the city attorney's office. They were put back a little bit because of a change in staff with our assigned attorney, and so we decided to try to get these projects to you quickly, and then what you'll see is over the course of the next 2 or 3 cycles, more of these come online as it goes through a legal review.
Great. One more question, Madam Chair. So when would the deadline be for the next round of projects?
Chair, council member, we are looking at probably an October application next year. We'd like to get this started earlier than later, so we're not coming to you in June, but we're coming to you earlier in the year. So that is our plan.
So October application for January funding?
Chair, council member, that's correct.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Councilmember Ellison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't think I have any questions. Just wanted to thank staff for the presentation and thank your team for all the work you guys do. This is really incredible. And yeah, it was fun to see so many people, and not just young folks. Kais is a really young guy. The work that he's doing is really incredible, and I'm sure that there's just countless other stories that didn't even make the video. So just wanted to thank you all for all of that and commend you for the work that you're doing. And I'm happy to also support this. Has this been moved?
Not yet.
Okay, happy to move approval as well.
You got it. Councilmember Palmisano.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just curious, the Partnership Engagement Fund has been one that we've tried to get up and running, and given the amount of interest in it versus what we're bringing forward, can you just pontificate a little bit over what have we learned during this first push of contracts? Like, how are we approaching this work maybe differently than we thought at the outset? How are we helping people through the consideration process?
Sure.
Is there anything that you'd want to highlight or share?
Chair, council member, I can ask Araya to speak a little bit more about this, but I'll say from my perspective is that when we first started this program, we wanted to make sure that all community-based organizations and neighborhoods were able to kind of work together for a project. We did run into some complications where in the beginning, neighborhood organizations and community-based organizations didn't necessarily already know each other. So it took a lot of effort by NCR to do matchmaking events, to describe programs, to have joint meetings, to bring the folks together. So we're seeing some organic partnerships pop out of that as well that haven't been funded, but they are going forward. Additionally, I'll say that we've learned that becoming a city vendor is tough for organizations that don't have maybe professional staff to go through that process. So we've needed to take a little bit more time to train about how to become a city vendor. And then lastly, the reporting requirements and the application itself, where previous years has been standard government practice, if you will. With that, it kind of limited or was intimidating to many of the culturally based organizations, community-based organizations to apply for government funding. So we opened it up to allow for text messages, to have communication, video applications instead of written applications. As you imagine, if English is your second language and you're writing a government form that's in English, so we use our staff to translate that information into a written application, but the video application is really solid, if you will, and it brings things forward. So we're learning as we go, and this is the most successful year so far, as we've had a lot of neighborhood support, we've had a lot of community organizations wanting to be funded, asking about funding next year and following years. So this is really starting to come together what you all envisioned when you voted in Neighborhoods 2020. Ryan, did you have anything you want to add? Sure.
Chair, Councilmember, I just echo a lot of what Steve said and the things that we've done to make this an accessible process. A couple additional things I'd highlight is that the partnership that we're helping develop with neighborhood organizations, I think has impact even beyond the projects that are being funded, right? So these relationships are being built. We've had this robust network of neighborhood organizations around for 30 years in this city, and this is helping connect folks who have never really had a part or connection to those to build some relationships. And we've seen meaningful impact out of that, even the 2021 projects being able to do more afterwards. The other thing, as was mentioned, is just navigating the city process can be complicated. And so we've seen through this, many folks get into the city vendor system and will have an opportunity to apply for other funding opportunities and partner with other departments and things like that as another impact, I would say, outside of just our funding of particular projects.
That's really great. I think it's important to lift up that work that we are learning and changing and making things more accessible as we go on here. And, that city vendor program is how we help to put our taxpayer dollars in building wealth in our community. So thank you for highlighting those benefits.
Councilmember Wansley.
Thank you, Chair Vita. And I also will raise, thank you, Council Vice President, for raising that question. I do know we all, well, I will say actually Council Vice President Palmisano, myself, Councilmember Johnson, Councilmember Payne, as well as Councilmember Goodman passed a legislative directive last December that actually had some of those components of inquiry where I believe you all are well on your way to, get that information in a more comprehensive sense. You just gave us a taste, I think, right now, and that's coming back on June 15th, I believe, to this body. So I just at least wanted to let folks know, we're going to have, ongoing conversation and deeper conversation next month around the outcomes of these programs and reconciling how are we protecting equity in our funding stream for our neighborhood associations to continue doing the phenomenal work and inspiring work that you all just displayed with that tear jerk of a video. I don't know if y'all have a Twitter also or a TikTok. I've learned there's certain departments that have those. Y'all should absolutely upload that. It's amazing. So I at least just wanted to put that out there, and I know our NCR staff have followed up with my office. I'm assuming that's happening with all of my colleagues about, questions in preparation for that June 15th meeting. So I just want to say thank you all for continuously engaging us and making sure that we're, administering as much support as we can, while also, again, protecting and centering equity, racial equity. I want to name that specifically, and how we do this great work of collaborating and supporting our neighborhood associations. But putting that to a side, I want to make sure, did Councilmember Ellison, he made the motion to move this forward. Did that need a second?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, cool. I would love to go ahead and take up Councilmember Ellison's motion to move this.
Okay. Councilmember Rainville. Oh, you're done? Okay, it's my turn. I'm so excited about the video next year. I mean, some of these projects that are listed for funding now, like the Camden Collective and Victory is doing like folklore dancing or something. I mean, that's amazing. I'm really excited about that. And I just wanted to end it by saying thank you all so much. We've had conversations, Stephen, in one-on-one meetings about what this looks like, and asking to bring a presentation before us so we understand exactly what we're voting for, and you nailed it. You did it. I mean, it looks really good. These are exciting programs that bring community together. It gives folks opportunity to meet their neighbors in unique ways. I mean, I was looking through them. There's one about teaching Spanish speakers to prepare for driver's license. Like, that's really cool, and that's unique to our diverse community here in Minneapolis. So thank you all so much. You ready, council member? Go ahead. You two fight over it, whoever's gonna move it.
Can I just say?
Yes.
This has been one of the best presentations, and thank you for all of your kind words. And hopefully this reflects back onto you all about what you authorize your city departments to do. This is always a team between all of us. Thank you.
See, you'll sleep better tonight. You stay woke, worried about this all last night. No. Thank you. Okay, who's moving it? Go ahead.
I'm happy to move this for approval.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. That carries, and this item will be forwarded to next week's council meeting. I hear myself like a lot. Okay, we're ready. And the next item is thank you all so much, thank you. The next item is receiving and filing a report on the operation of the Labor Standards Co-Enforcement Program. And here to kick off the presentation is Brian Walsh from the Civil Rights Department. Thank you, and welcome.
Good afternoon, Chair Vita, members of the committee. Thank you very much. My name is Brian Walsh. I'm the Director of Labor Standards Enforcement within our Civil Rights Department. I am joined today by my colleagues Amy Lingo and Robert Harrison. I really do appreciate when we present with more than one department, because the work always cuts across departments. So really do appreciate that. This is your roadmap. I will very quickly give some context. I know that many of you committee members understand the context. I'll run through some of it at a very high level, especially for anyone, members of the public who might be tuning in. Looking at some labor standards co-enforcement results over the last several years, and then turning it over to my colleagues to look at possibilities or options for sustainable ongoing funding in the future. Specifically, we're here today after the City Council, or to respond to the City Council's legislative directive, which was passed in December. You can see it on the screen, requesting assessment of data and metrics, and then some options for sustainable ongoing funding. Again, we're here today to discuss labor standards co-enforcement. It's probably fitting that I'm presenting after that presentation from NCR. There's, at a conceptual level, kind of a synergy there. This is a similar concept. To give some context for what it is, I'll just back up for just a moment and just name that the city's labor standards include minimum wage, sick and safe time, which is paid sick leave, and wage theft prevention. The scope of these issues and the problem, or the why does this matter, is that in the largest sense, it puts downward pressure on wages across entire industries where employers have to compete with one another and keep prices low, and that can really put significant pressure on wages, downward pressure on wages for everyone, and also all employees everywhere pay higher payroll taxes when some employers and employees are not paying into that system. The scope directly of these types of violations is quite large. I think the best estimates put the range of wage theft and labor standards violations in the city of Minneapolis around $15 to $20 million a year in lost wages, 3 times more costly than all robberies combined. About 1 in 5 low-wage workers face violations directly affecting them and their livelihoods. Enforcement, it's important to name, is a continuum and occurs in a variety of ways and should not be siloed, just constituting investigations in one individual department. When you look at the scope of the problem and you consider that there are 10,000 roughly, and it fluctuates, but 10,000 employers and about 300,000 employees operating across the city of Minneapolis at any given time, and there are 3 investigators on my team trying to get their arms around the scope of this problem, we need sort of all hands on deck. And often the best tool we have to motivate the achievement of compliance is workers themselves. Which brings us to our co-enforcement program, and it is essentially the city providing funding to worker centers that do very similar work as the Labor Standards Enforcement Division, using somewhat different tools. You'll see some of the results on this slide here. Our current partners include Setool, Rock, Minnesota, and the New Justice Project. Some of the results just for 2022. For Know Your Rights training, those are sort of the deeper trainings that they provide to workers, over 400 workers trained. 78 of those 400 became trainers themselves. They trained the trainer type of model, and then the ripple effect sort of goes out from there as more workers learn about their rights and learn how to enforce those rights in a myriad ways. Over 12,000 workers reached through in-person trainings, light touch, and the more Know Your Rights style trainings, and then online organizing, and that's just in 2022. The bottom line number, over $3 million collected in unpaid wages since 2018, and that's by the funded worker centers. So that is, and there's a lot more reporting on those results. I'd be more than happy to share that with any council members. Please feel free to reach out. That's sort of the top line results in the data. Just to illustrate how that sort of looks, this is just one example. Previously, going back several years, all of the McDonald's, Subway, and Little Caesars in Minneapolis were basically non-compliant with most of the city's labor standards. Investigations in those franchise locations alone are effective in recovering unpaid wages. They're even more effective in achieving lasting, ongoing compliance that goes on into the future, even when the investigation is over and the investigators go home, is when you pair that with, in this case, it was training provided by an organizing of the workers by our worker center partners to ensure that all of the workers really understood their rights and how to enforce them and how they could work together to make sure that rights are respected. And in that situation, or in that example, We haven't, as far as I can tell, and to this day, we've achieved compliance in all of those locations. I will pause there, take a deep breath, because that's a lot. And if anyone has any questions, I think we'll stand at the end. But to shift to the next part of the presentation, turn it over to Amy. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, Chair Vital and committee members. I'm Amy Lingo, Manager for Business Licensing. So business license, oh, thank you, Brian. I thought this was tomorrow, so I'm a little off. Okay, so business licensing fees are part of the general fund. So and any fees that we collect and generate, they go into the general fund. So if there's like a one-time standardized allotment or standardized allotment, that's just gonna, like, as I like to say, skim off the top. That wouldn't need anything from us. That would go part of the normal budgetary process. There is also a cost enforcement recovery model. When we do citations and those are appealed, we do an added standard calculation for cost of recovery. But those fees are not a guaranteed source of income. They can add to and they can pad and they further incentivize good behavior by having to pay extra, but they're not a consistent source of income. And then there is an option of a line item added fee, so like a surcharge, for lack of a better term, where you could add a fee to a business license, whether it's across the board, whether it's a percentage based off of how much the license is worth, or if it's specific to certain license types. For example, the hospitality industry, restaurants and whatnot are the #2 source of wage theft, so would it be specific? Anything of that sort would need to go through an ordinance update, and we would have to go through that process. The timeline for anything budgetary, needs a public hearing, that all needs to be in by September 1st. Any ordinance work also has to have the public hearing process, which has a 30 days. Anything that would involve adding a fee to a license, specifically, we would need to go through our software process to add that and to add that to the billing process. Minimum of 6 months would need to be added to be able to implement that process. Another thing to note is that licenses renew specifically based off of what kind of license they are. It's not just a one time of year. So like food always comes in March, liquor is 4 times a year, hotels are in November, for example. And then I will go ahead and pause here and then move that on to Robert in our budget.
Thank you.
Sure, I've got this. Thank you. Chair Vital, council members, I think I've got the easiest part of this presentation. In addition to all the information that's been presented around the different options that we have, and before we stand for questions, I just want to put a quick plug in for the annual budget process. Any decisions that get made around this need to be incorporated into the final budget via either amendment or as part of the mayor's recommended budget by December 5th of this year. And so we have, let's see, a bit of a slide talking about that, but again, just a plug for our process. Any ongoing funding to support this work would need to be incorporated into the budget again by December 5th. So we have a couple of interim dates listed out on this slide. Mayor's recommended budget out before or by August 15th. Council review in September through October. Amendments to the mayor's recommended budget due by November 15th, and then of course council markup on November 30th and December 1st. But again, we're looking for any final changes to the budget in by that December 5th deadline. I think with that quick plug, we'll stand for any questions you might have.
Thank you for the presentation. Councilmember Wansley's up first.
Thank you, Chair Vital. Thank you to our team for coming forward today, Director Wash, Amy, Robert. Our co-enforcement program is one of our most significant programs at the city. And when you talked about the recovery of $3 million, I think of my work specifically where you said Rock, Minnesota, think of students. Through the work of civil rights via its collaboration with Rock, Minnesota. Through this program, you all help students who are debt-ridden because tuition is too damn high, all sorts of things. They're having to pay unaffordable rents. and you help them at Blade's Pizza, a corporation, multi-million-dollar corporation, you found out that they stole more than $30,000 from student workers there. And you helped and you worked with those students who I know, I've spoken with them, they didn't even know they had an advocacy resource here at the city for them to get their wages recovered. And I think $30,000 to a student, how meaningful that is to be able to get, one, what you're owed, but to know that they have, an advocacy resource here at the city to retrieve those dollars so that they can, pay on also so many bills that they have right now. Like, I just want to say, I had faces in mind when you put that figure up, and it just reinforced, again, this is such a needed program at the city, especially if, as a city, we're striving to be worker friendly and to make sure that we constantly and consistently are supporting our workers, and most consistently supporting our underpaid workers, our most vulnerable segments of our workforce that often are facing, wage thefts, all sorts of shiesty stuff that our corporations do to workers. It's great to have this program here and be able to administer that in addition to, if you're in a union, in addition to those resources there. So I did just want to name, this program is awesome. Thank you for the work that you all do in supporting the workers across our city and having this as a resource. In addition to, I'm looking over the legislative directive, some of the components that were in here. I do recall, there's been efforts to establish something called the Labor Standards Board, and thinking of how does that relate to a co-enforcement model. If there has been conversations with the Civil Rights Department around advancing that, and I think all council members have been briefed on this. In fact, I think all of us was at a press conference in support of a Labor Standards Board and the creation of that last year. So I thought of that immediately when, also looking at the legislative directive and the presentation that you brought forward of this seems like this would tie in as another way of bringing community members in, having them have a direct oversight component on how we support our workers across our industries here in Minneapolis, and making sure that there is that consistency of support, that consistency of combating wage theft and all sorts of, again, challenges that they experience at the hands of greedy corporate bosses. So yeah, that's the question I had.
Chair Vita, Councilmember Wansley, thank you for the comment and the question. As to labor standards boards in particular, it's a very similar concept in the sense that it brings all voices to the table around the creation of policy and the creation of labor standards themselves. And the co-enforcement model is a similar idea around the enforcement of those labor standards. My understanding about that conversation is that a lot of the stakeholders have been working to move it at the Capitol, and I imagine, and indeed I think there was a labor standards board in a bill specific to healthcare or residential care industry that passed and may be signed very soon by the governor. But I would imagine that many of the same stakeholders talking about that policy will re-engage with policymakers here at the city in the coming months.
Awesome. And just wanted to flag that and thinking of when we're looking at ongoing programs or extensions or expansions of this work, that might be something that this body, I'm assuming, will be, as you named, tie the bow on it at the state, probably will revisit it here at the municipal level, and that will be something that will have some implications around funding, and maybe even, policy decisions on this body, either before budget, because I like to name, we often don't have to wait until August 15th to start looking at how we advance budget priorities, because this body holds the purse of the city. So this is something that we can start having proactive conversations probably after the session, because they're probably stressed and tired up there. But just want to name that piece, and also getting a sense of where the status of conversations were around that, because from my understanding, that was something that was widely supported amongst the council and might wanting to see that move forward. Thank you.
Vice Chair Payne.
Thank you, Chair Vita. I think it's profound when you see this issue framed in this way of 3 times more costly than all robberies. So I'm assuming that's inclusive of cars getting stolen, carjackings, house getting broken into. And if you only imagine, monthly payroll, there's a Star Tribune headline about how much money was stolen from workers, how much different this would be talked about. And I think the reason we don't see those headlines is because the workers who are typically the victim of this crime are usually the most marginalized members of our community. And so I think it's really important to highlight just the scope of that. And I'm really grateful that you framed it that way, which leads me to my next question, given the scope of this. And I think there's a subtext to this presentation of using our business licensing fee as a means of addressing the cost of enforcement. I'm wondering if we can clarify, is that like the formal recommendation here, or could we equally use the general fund to fund this, and that's a separate step from evaluating licensing fees? Because I think we were presented business licensing as a potential option, but I don't know if what we're saying that is the option, and I'm just wondering if we could get some clarification there.
Chair Vita, Councilmember Payne, thank you for that question. The information about business licensing really was responsive to the legislative directive, and I wouldn't say that that's the unofficial recommendation of any kind. It really is trying to lay out the menu of options for policymakers, both mayor's office and yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? I thought you would put it back up. Thank you again for the presentation. And seeing no further discussion, I will direct the clerk to receive and file that report. Before I close out, I just wanted to give a shout out to Commissioner Reeves, sitting in the back. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for showing up in community always. I really appreciate you. Seeing no further business before us, and without objection, I will declare this meeting adjourned.
On recycling, the organics carts are a third the size, much lighter. The most exciting part of my job is